moving on we do, and the next match is for the vacant NWA Women's World Championship. Now, prior to this event, apparently Jazz was the NWA Women's World Champion, but she was injured and had to vacate the title, so therefore this match is Allison Kay versus Santana Garrett for the vacant title. Now, Medusa, also known as Alundra Blaze in the WWF, she comes out, to give a speech, and she's carrying the vacant World Championship belt. And obviously Medusa / Alundra Blaze is famous for dropping the WWF Women's Championship in the garbage on Monday Nitro in the mid-90s. And it's kind of, followed and kind of haunted her career ever since. Like, it's still talked about. She even made a joke about it, actually, in her little speech. So she goes on with this speech, and she had her phone in her hand, and it looks like she was reading off a script or something at first. Then she put that down. And the speech, it just died. Her sentences were few and far between. She was stuttering. Well, not stuttering, really, but just, I don't know. It was hard to explain. She had basically nothing else to say, but still kept talking. So that got very boring very quickly. And finally, she introduces, the participants, and Allison Kay and Santana Garrett, they come out to the ring. Match starts off. Once again, we get back and forth between the two, with neither one of them gaining the upper hand for the first few minutes. Finally, Allison Kay takes control. But it was very quickly and very apparent that, to me, their strikes and stuff was really looking weak. You get some more back and forth after that. We get a double down after a simultaneous, big boot kick strikes from the two. And at this point, even from the very beginning, I'll say this, and it's not even just the NWA Women's Division, but I've seen it quite a bit on the Power Series. I'm seeing it here in this match. The NWA Women's Division, along with, say, the AEW's Women's Division, or any other Women's Division, with the exception of, we'll say, the WWE Women's Divisions and women's matches, this seems like it's in slow motion. They're moving around the ring slowly. They're hitting the ropes slowly. The strikes are slow and, they're not putting all they have into their strikes. It's like they just seem so weak. Everything just seems so slow. Compared to the WWE doesn't have a lot going for it either, but a lot of their women's matches and their women's divisions are at least on par with what the guys do as far as performance-wise. Every other women's division, including the NWA Women's Division, is really falling behind that curve, and it's apparent here, and it's been apparent in all the other ones that I've seen. So this match is really just dragging on, and it makes it hard to watch. So, with that being said, if the WWE have anything going for them, if I have to give them credit to anything, it's their women's divisions, because at least those are watchable to a certain degree compared to, say, something like this. So, they get back to their feet. There's, again, more back and forth. There's some strikes between the two. Nobody's gaining the upper advantage. No one ever seems to gain the advantage here throughout this entire match, so therefore there's really no story being told. And it keeps either of these ladies from really looking good or really looking strong, and therefore I can't get into this match. And that's another problem that I see with modern wrestling these days. And it's been like this for several years, mind you, where it's like this, I've been hearing the term 50-50 booking, where you don't just get somebody in control and somebody else is having to work their way up throughout the match to really sell something. Each one had it's move for move, it's strike for strike. And therefore, I don't see any of them really. It's hard for my brain to, I guess, focus on that kind of thing. It doesn't appeal to me, visually or anything. It happened in this match. It's a problem in a lot of other matches. I can't get into that. I really can't. Well, finally, Allison Kay gets in a spinning clothesline, and she wins the match. Medusa comes back into the ring. She presents the belt to Allison Kay, and therefore Allison Kay is the NWA Women's World Champion. I couldn't get into it. I've seen several other women's matches and another title match or two on their Power Series, and every one of them, I want to like it because I like the rest of the NWA product. I'm enjoying, say WWE's women's wrestling these days. They really, bring it in the ring. It's just not happening here, and it's unfortunate. It's hard to watch, and I feel like NWA, AEW, or any other women's division really needs to step up their game if they want to, be even talked about in the same discussion as some of the best women's wrestlers, today. It's just something that needs to happen. So this was a very lackluster match, and that's really all I got to say about that. It was what it was. Another typical NWA women's match that you get nowadays.